Kyrie unable to play this afternoon and because of the city ordinance.
And you're right, sir. You're right. Listen, you're right. Kyrie can play tomorrow. Get vaccinated.
We waited all year for this moment. I mean, as a basketball fan that, believe me, I'm a huge critic of Kyrie Irving. I've been waiting all season long for this man to finally have freedom for a decision that was personal to his health. And, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like today we finally got some good news. Before we get to the content, I've been making more videos on my TheFlightMike TV channel. To celebrate, we're giving away $500 to any subscriber that turns on their notifications on my TheFlightMike TV channel or on this channel as well. We already announced a giveaway winner earlier today. We're gonna be trying to announce winners every 2 weeks. Now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. This video is sponsored by Albert. Unlike banks, Albert's actually going to save you money. Instead of just opening up a traditional savings account and hoping that you remember to put some money into it, Albert looks at your income and expenses and sees what money you could save. They offer 5 to 20% cash back from places like McDonald's, Starbucks, and Walmart. And the best part is they have your back so much that they'll spot you up to $250 when you need it. And most importantly, they'll help you manage your money with one of my favorite features on the app, Genius, which is a team of financial experts that Albert has that they call geniuses that will look at your situation and help you come up with a plan and answer any of your questions if you get stuck. And right now, when you go to albert.com/TFM and open up a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit, you'll get $150. That's albert.com/TFM to download the Albert app, open up a checking account and connect a qualifying direct deposit to get $150. And thank you, Albert, for today's sponsorship. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? About 10 days ago, Kyrie Irving absolutely took it to New York and their mayor, Eric Adams. First by showing up to a Duke University basketball game and sitting front row courtside without a mask on, which he was allowed to do so. And then by showing up to the Brooklyn Nets versus New York Knicks basketball game, which he wasn't allowed to play in, and then sitting courtside without a mask, which he was allowed to do, but then showing up to his team's locker room during halftime where he got fined for doing so. Yes, I know, that's as confusing to me as it is to you. Now, believe me, man, I've been a huge critic of Kyrie Irving throughout his career, and I hope this demonstrates how I do the best of my ability to be completely unbiased of a person and just trying to stand up for what I believe is right. And in this scenario, I feel like Kyrie Irving was unjustifiably targeted in a season where the damage has already been done. I mean, you could already tell James Harden really didn't want to put up with this stuff anymore, and he felt like the clock was ticking on his basketball career, and eventually he ended up getting traded to the Philadelphia 76ers as a result of that. Now, I understand the Brooklyn Nets got some really good pieces as a result of it, but you can make the argument that these unfair restrictions that they placed on Kyrie Irving just because he decided to make that decision to not get vaccinated has without a doubt altered the course of not only the NBA, but Kevin Durant's legacy, Kyrie Irving's legacy, possibly James Harden's legacy. I mean, on paper, I personally think that the Philadelphia 76ers and Brooklyn Nets both improved tremendously as a result of the trade that they made over the trade deadline that sent James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers and Ben Simmons to the Brooklyn Nets. But you can't help but wonder the fact that whenever Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant all played together, they won 13 games and lost only 3 of their games. This is going to be without a doubt one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history, and you can make a legitimate argument that some of the pressure that was applied on this team was the fact that Kyrie Irving wasn't a full-time player this year. Now, obviously, there were other factors at play. Kevin Durant wasn't fully healthy. James Harden wasn't always healthy. James Harden had a problem with the brand new foul rules in the beginning of the season. And James Harden was also reportedly not a fan of the way the Brooklyn Nets ran their offense. And with Philadelphia, he's back to playing the same type of basketball he played with the Houston Rockets. He reunited with Daryl Morey. And honestly, just watching him and Embiid team up together just makes for very good basketball. But at the same time, one can only wonder if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving don't win a championship together or fall short of their expectations, or if James Harden and Joel Embiid fall short of their expectations this year. This is without a doubt going to be one of the biggest factors at play. The fact that the pressure that was generated outside of the basketball court resulted in one player eventually getting traded, at least in my opinion. But let's get to the good news here, okay? Because this is supposed to be a very positive video. Sources have indicated that Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving will be cleared for home games, as New York City will on Thursday change private sector vaccine mandates to allow exemption for athletes and entertainers in the workplace. Unvaccinated Yankees and Mets players are also now eligible for home games. Now, this is just an exception for athletes, probably because, I don't know, maybe Eric Adams couldn't handle the media scrutiny anymore. Do you understand how bizarre this is? I mean, like, this is a huge win for athletes and Kyrie Irving, and I'm very happy for them. But it's really funny to me how they just removed these restrictions just for entertainers. Why? Because entertainers have reach, and Kyrie Irving was making the government look like a bunch of dumbasses during this time. Look, man, I'm vaccinated myself. I'm actually very pro-vaccine, but I am not pro-forcing the vaccine on anyone. And in this instance, I'm very happy that Kyrie Irving has been freed in time to make this push to hopefully get the Brooklyn Nets into a situation where they could contend for a championship. Now, there are obviously other factors at play, but still. Now, Shams continues and says that New York City Mayor Eric Adams will level the playing field for in-town athletes and performers to match the rule that allows unvaccinated individuals to perform in NYC. Sources familiar with this situation tell The Athletic in the Stadium now NYC local athletes will have the same guidelines. Now, this means that Kyrie Irving will be eligible to make his home debut at Barclays Center on Sunday versus LaMelo Ball and the Charlotte Hornets. The new New York City exemption for in-town athletes and performers will be effective immediately beginning on Thursday. Now, without a doubt, this is a huge win for Kyrie Irving, the Brooklyn Nets, the city of New York, and New York's athletes and performers. But this isn't a situation where you could say, hey, you know, we were careful earlier on and we were being extra vigilant about this vaccine situation. No harm done. Now, for all you know, this could have potentially improved the Brooklyn Nets. Maybe as a result of the external pressure that was created, Ben Simmons, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant are a significantly better trio than what they had at the beginning of the season, which on paper is what I personally believe. Obviously, we have to watch it all play out before we could come to a conclusion. But regardless, man, I am, and this is just my own political beliefs, I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat in office. Clearly, the government had no freaking clue how to handle COVID, and this is just a great example of it right here. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.